guys are ready to start talking about the Mark 3.5. It's 7 o'clock. George from Florida and Seattle. We start here shortly. You guys have questions? Some audio sounds. And I have Lucy too, just in case. Good evening. We're starting shortly. We were supposed to start at 7 o'clock, but I figured I'd let you know that I'm absolutely going to be here. So while we're waiting to be else to join, where's everybody from? Florida, Seattle. Where else are you guys from? Hopefully you can hear me. The audience will be that's a little better. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Mark 3.5, which is a turbo diesel, and I'm going to point out Mark 3.5 is that generation. I've been working on engine design for a long time. How it became. go to YouTube and find us. We'll be starting here soon. Nashville, love Nashville. I know. All right, we're starting soon. Colorado, 24 degrees. Really excited to share this Vincent Red. I've been teasing it a little bit on social, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, you missed it. It is why I do so much on Instagram, not enough on Facebook, in my opinion. I got a book recommendation for you guys tonight too. Lucy likes going for a ride. I said in the email originally I was going to share pictures, but I figured it'd just make the broadcast too long. Almost there, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me on a Tuesday night, I'll tell you. Anytime I can talk about Land Rovers, I'm all about it. So how many of you actually have a Land Rover of some type? That's what I'd like to hear. Rome, Italy. That's awesome. I will actually be in Rome starting on December 9th and be there the 20th. Yes, it's Lucy. Lucy she's spoiled with attention. She just doesn't get enough attention. She'll stay like this all night, pretty much. Won't you? Hello, Mark. How are you, sir? All right, coming down to the timeline here. Looks like everybody's starting to come in. This is awesome. So yes, so we are broadcasting through Instagram. Instagram guys and gals, just go over to YouTube. Either go to YouTube, search for Helderburg, or just go to the Helderburg.com, and then you'll find the live broadcast. That's where it's really at. All right, and we're live all the way now. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate you spending your Tuesday night with me, and Lucy, of course. And Lucy I couldn't leave her in the house. She said no, and Leo's in the back somewhere right now. I can hear him moving about. So tonight we're going to talk about Vincent Red, but more specifically, we're going to talk about the Mark 3.5 turbo diesel. And the important thing that I want to point out about the number Mark 3.5, that is our model in the sense that that's our 3.5 version. So like what Apple does with the iPhone 15, it's their 15th, version basically. And that's what this is. So we've been working from the very beginning of time when we started Helderburg, actually before we started Helderburg, that and hopefully you guys can see me and everything here. Everything's working well, as I hope. But anyway, so before I started the company Helderburg, it was all about the engine. How do we get the engine? Which brings me to a story. Of course, you're going to get a story from me because it's all about the story. That's how we remember things, is by stories. And I remember it because it was a story that my father told me. And I bought a 1964 and a half Mustang. And it had a 289. The engine was blown, transmission was shot. It was a basket case. Paid $300 for it. Imagine if I still had it. And if I still had it. But anyway, a whole nother story. So I said, all right, that's it. I'm going to build this up. I'm going to do something different. But I wanted to do a sleeper where nobody imagined what that little, 64 and a half Mustang could do. So I went to the junkyard. I picked up a 302 block. I picked up 351 Windsor heads. I got an Helderburg Performer manifold. I got a Holley double pumper carburetor. I got the crankshaft chromed out. I put a heavier cam in it. I changed the gearing, on. I put headers on it, the works. And I even put a nitrous bottle in the back. So the whole idea was to make something really fast because I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. And we had a road called Summer Avenue, and that's where we would go to meet up to go do our races and make money or lose money or be embarrassed, whatever it was. But the story, or what my dad would always tell me, is whenever you start doing these type of things to that Mustang, keep in mind it was not engineered for it, and you're going to create a lot of problems for yourself. That you're always going to have to be working on it, adjusting the car, doing this, doing that. So you basically open up a can of worms. I'm like, yeah, whatever, Dad, whatever, no big deal, young guy. And that's so true, and I learned that. So when we start doing modifications when a vehicle was not engineered for it, for example, introducing an engine into a Defender that it was never engineered for, hence like the Corvette V8, you just know that you're going to have other issues. You fix one problem just to give yourself additional problems. So when we set out to do the turbo diesel, the whole idea was to make sure that we weren't creating problems for ourselves, and that's why it's taken so long. Again, the LS3, they have problems of overheating. They not only does the engine overheat, but it creates heat in the cabin. And it really it's the wrong kind of power because you're giving more horsepower and not enough torque is the issue. So that's what's happening with that type of an engine, and the Mark 3.5 solves all of those problems. So let me get into something here. Let me show you Columbia, Tennessee. Hello, Jim. So with that said, let's just go to a video here. You can imagine, and this was giving me how excited I was. This was So hopefully you could hear that. That was David. He's my transporter, and he's taking it really easy and everything because that's the type of guy he is. As soon as he got it up to the top of the driveway, I went up there, I got in, and I said, get in. And we took off. And I took off down the driveway, coming sideways. And I think he about messed himself, to be honest. I actually think he peed himself a little bit. We'll have to ask him because he will be here Thursday again, and I'll share some of that with you coming up. And hello, Randy. So that was, the big thing that my father taught me was when you start doing things that the vehicle was not engineered for, you are opening up a can of worms. Um, Another thing that I learned, because when in my youth, one of the things that we wanted was, for example, couldn't afford a Porsche 911, so we would buy a Porsche 912, and then we would take the 912, we would start modifying it. I was fortunate enough to find an old Porsche 911, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But I picked up this 911, and it was a 1965 model. The problem was it was rusted, it was cracked in half. I bought it, and I saved, and it cost me $5,000 to buy this 1965 all original Porsche. And wouldn't you know, I get it, and I cut the rear arches out. I put wider arches into it. I pulled the engine out, basically threw that engine away. I went to a later model engine that was a bigger engine and did all that stuff. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. If I would have left it original and just fixed where it cracked and all that stuff and just left it all original, that Porsche would probably be worth $400,000. But what's it worth now if somebody was to find it? Probably about $70,000. And that's the point that I'm trying to make when it comes to the Defenders. Right now, we're early into it because they're starting to come into the U.S. because they have to be 25 years old. So they're coming into the U.S. and everybody's ripping them apart and doing all this craziness to it and putting galvanized chassis under them and putting LSs in it and doing this and doing that. And I'm telling you, time repeats itself. I've seen it happen with Porsche. I've seen it happen with Mustang. I've seen it happen with the Ford F100, on and on and on, all these vehicles. We're going to get 5 or 10 years, 15 years down the road. And I mean, the way the prices are now, there's no doubt. I mean, the way they're going, I mean, to buy a Defender now, you guys know the prices. You're going to have something that's not worth a lot. So I think that's important to really consider that. And I just want to look at Vincent Red for a minute. So let's go to that. And the color has been the topic of discussion a lot. And this color is beautiful. In the sun, it's not as attractive on camera, but in person in the sun, it's beautiful. So we did this in the shade so you can see it. But it's a very British feel. It is a metallic color, but in the shade, it goes almost a deep burgundy. Well, not almost, it does. It goes into a deep burgundy in the shade. And then in the sun, you can just see the sparkles. It's just amazing. I haven't loaded any pictures onto the website because I've been driving it. This has been our R&D, our research and development vehicle. And it's here. It's in Sharon Springs, New York. I've been driving it. I've put a lot of miles on it, just testing the engine, the drivetrain. I mean, I've done all kinds of stuff with it. I've low RPMs, high RPMs, off-road, on-road, up inclines, everything, just testing it. And it is beautiful. But what we've done, so Will, my partner in the UK, we've taken our knowledge about building an engine. Me, back from the gasoline days with the Mustangs and the Porsches and all that. And then Will, he knows diesels like nobody. And we've taken those elements, bigger pistons, different crankshaft, different injection pump. I mean, everything has been different. But we've done it in a way that it's not going to make it unreliable. We've given it the performance, but this is an engine that was designed and engineered for this vehicle. We've just unleashed the power to it. So, quick story, and to explain really the turbo diesel engine. So, Land Rover, they created the Defender for the farmers. And so it was a farmer's truck. And then they created the Range Rover, again, for the wealthy farmer to be able to move his family around and, take trips and take vacations. But the turbo, or the turbo diesel that was in the Land Rover, was detuned because they were tuning it more for torque. And they also did not want the Defender to compete with the Range Rover. So the Range Rover diesel engine, same engine that was good for the highway, good for vacations, good for the family and everything else, that you could run up and down the highway, was the same exact engine, except it was tuned for more of that. So that's really what we've done. We've taken that engine and retuned it, but we went a little farther than what they did with, well, all right, let me be honest. We went a lot farther than what they did with the Range Rover because, again, larger pistons, different cylinder head, different injection pump, different exhaust system, different turbo, different intercooler. So we've made all these parts bigger and better and more efficient. For example, like the intercooler on a turbo diesel is normally, the stock one has a steel top and a steel bottom and doesn't have that many ribs in it to cool. So our intercooler is an aluminum top and an aluminum bottom, and we've multiplied the number of fins so it creates a lot more cooler air. And the reason for the aluminum top and aluminum bottom is because it doesn't hold heat like steel. So that's the difference. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up this video. And if you guys have any questions, please just let me know. And thank you, sir. Yes, remember to like and share. I appreciate that. And here we go. But I've got a video, and you'll notice that we shot it this morning for you guys. Just for tonight, we shot it this morning. So here we go.
So when I started Helderburg, my entire goal was to fix all of the known issues when it came to a classic Land Rover Defender. One of those issues was they were painfully slow. I couldn't pass, I had to go in the right lane and people would pass me. I still enjoyed it, but that was an issue I wanted to fix, and we did. Clients will tell you that the Helderburg has ample power and also sounds beautiful. But I felt like that just wasn't enough. Let's set the bar even higher, and that's what we've done. This is the Helderburg Mark 3.5 Turbo Diesel. This is an exclusive engine design that we've spent over 3 years developing, and now, wow, it's fast, it's powerful. You can pull out into traffic quickly, you can pass people, you can do donuts, you can even smoke the tires if you choose to, but you can also drive it. Very refined. It's the perfect daily driver, and best of all, the exhaust sounds are magical. So we've done everything. We've kept the classic iconic design. We've kept a drivetrain that's engineered to be part of the vehicle, so it's not a Frankenstein, and it sounds great, it's fast, and maintenance is pretty much nothing. Change the oil and change the fuel filter, and that means you'll spend more time on the road enjoying this turbo diesel. So let's go for a ride and you can hear the magic.
Woo! Yeah. I had the speakers going. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell in your ear. I am so sorry. But that puts chills up my spine. I can't tell you how exciting it is that I just remember back my first Defender, and it was like, yeah, I'd look over at Christy, and we'd have our iPhone, the GPS, and it'd say we'd be there in 2 hours and 40 minutes, and we would end up being more like 4 hours. So, so that was the ongoing joke that we were, hey, add a couple hours to the drive. All right, so yeah, what do you guys think? What did you think about that? What did you think about that sound? And I will tell you, Mike was standing on the side of the road, and I went by him like it was just like I could see his hair go, like so. Some of those runs were well over 90 miles an hour. So anyway, it's enjoyable. It's hard not to drive it like that. I'll tell you, it's really hard not to. So a couple questions. Engine sound, the microphone inside the vehicle. Yes, had a microphone inside the vehicle. And here's the beauty of it, though. The exhaust system also custom. And that's the thing about a Helderburg. Why is a Helderburg so much more expensive than any of the other builders? And it's because we custom build this stuff. We're not getting stuff off of the shelf. There's a lot, and I'm going to do a live about that coming up, why Helderburg is so much more than any of the other builders. But, I'm just excited about that video. I really am. So, microphone, yes, was inside, and yeah, there's all kinds of alternatives when it comes to wheels and bumpers and tires and lift or not lift and how much of a lift and all that. So anyway, all right, so I got to get myself grounded again. All right, so you got to hear the sound. So I've got another video for you I want you to share, or I want to share with you guys. And I had a gentleman visit me, and he called. And we talked for a little bit, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to come visit you." He gets here, and we started talking. And the more I could see, the more that we were here, the more he kind of warmed up. That we just started to, because when you first meet somebody, you're a little like shy. I guess I am personally. I'm an introvert. So anyway, we started talking about a lot of stuff, a lot of common interests: dogs, cameras, just on and on. And I said, he drove some of the other Defenders. He ended up ordering one, but he drove some of the other Helderbergs. And I said, "Are you ready to go for a ride?" And Vincent Red, and he goes, "Yeah, let's do it." And I said, "Okay." And went down the back here. I got a gravel road where it's got the hill and stuff. And going down the driveway, I took out like a banshee, of course. Or actually, in the very beginning, I went kind of slow, and then I got to the end, and I took off like a banshee, and then I hit that gravel road. And I'm watching him through the corner of my eye, and I could see him going, stiffening up and everything. And I just rolled it down the gravel highway, or gravel road, and then locked up on the brakes after about a mile. Anyway, let me play this. All right, what's your impression on the Mark 3.5?
It's incredibly tight. It's hard not to just peel out and go. Easy to get up to highway speed and just and coast at highway speed without any effort or mentally, trying to will the car faster. And the sound is incredible. It's incredible.
Would you get a speeding ticket in it, you think?
Maybe by accident, but the car's cool enough I'd probably get out of it just by talking to him about it.
So anyway, that was a lot of fun, and we've been talking a lot too. So we're building a 110 for Chris, and I'm excited about that. But yeah, the point that I'm really wanting to make tonight, though, is with enough ingenuity and enough of a desire, you can take any vehicle and make it the ideal vehicle. You don't have to take shortcuts, and I feel like that's what happens a lot of times is people will take a shortcut in life, and specifically when you're building something like this. And I mean, we're talking about an iconic vehicle that we're renewing its life. It would be much, much easier for us to just rip the engine out, rip the transmission out, throw it aside, go online, do our order, and order a crate, a GM crate engine. It shows up, in a short amount of time. The engine's all done, all built, transmission's bolted to it, it's all right there, and we're dropping the transmission in, is what we're doing. That would be more beneficial for us. We wouldn't have to employ as many people. The build process would go faster, and it would be more profitable for us. But that's not why we do what we do. We're building these trucks because they're special. And there's something very special about it. Either you get it or you don't when you drive one. And it's a way for you to relax. You feel the stress go away. It's a driver's vehicle. It's fun to drive. You see me shifting the gears. I mean, that's magical. It's fun. Even though we have some people that want automatic, and we do offer an automatic, but you don't have to shift a lot, and it's just part of the driving experience. It's fun because all my clients have other cars. They don't have to drive the Defender every single day. So I really think manual transmission, working the clutch, hearing the exhaust notes as you're going up and down the gear range, there's a lot to it. But the point being is if you try hard enough, you can do whatever you want and you can create some beautiful things. But you can create a vehicle that will only appreciate in value. It will continue to go up in value instead of bastardizing it. And that's what I don't want to do, even though we have to do that for California sometimes. All right, one more video for you guys. I know a lot of videos tonight. I hope you guys are okay with these videos, by the way.
Good morning, Paul. Mike Ryan here, sitting in Alvin. What a fantastic build, D110, gentlemanly ride, amazing, subtle color, and we're still loving it. But I had to make a comment about your red Defender. That thing was amazing. It was fun. It was exhilarating. It was exciting. When you took me for that quick drive, I know I giggled a little bit, and was certainly a blast to drive myself. Why anyone would want an LS swap after the magic you've done to that diesel, the short throw on the gear shift and the clutch, it was just a blast to drive. If I was a 2 Defender guy, I would get rid of one of my sports cars because that red Defender is everything a sports car is and a Defender. So thanks again. The family's still loving Alvin. We're enjoying it. All my sons want to drive it constantly, and even 2 of my daughters. So thanks again, Paul, and keep doing what you're doing. We're loving it.
So that was Mike. He has Alvin. If you haven't seen Alvin, the color is beautiful. It's like a root beer brown with a sepia brown roof. It's just a beautiful thing. All right, so with that, that's the Mark 3.5. If you have questions about it, let me know. But I do have a book for you guys. The Land Rover Story. I'd say go to Amazon, see if you can find this book. It's generally sold out, but just keep on checking back. It's a great story. I'll tell you, though, it doesn't have many pictures. I've sent this out to a number of people. It's a lot of text. It really is. But it's very interesting. I highly encourage this book. Again, The Land Rover Story by Dave Phelps. Really good book. So check that out. All right, let's talk about some other stuff. I got some other things on tap. Let's take a look at this, what I have right here. So I asked on Instagram, I posted, I said, would you like to see behind the scenes videos? And overwhelming yes. 98% of you said yes. And so, I started thinking, and if you follow me on Instagram in the stories, I posted a little while ago. So I think that would really prove helpful for you guys, because definitely we have some of you and gals that like to see behind the scenes and see it getting built. But I've always been a believer that I didn't really want to show the build process, because I really don't think people want to see their baby being ugly, if that makes sense, that analogy. And it's hard to make what's going on in the shop really cool, but I'm going to make an effort to start showing things behind the scenes for you. And starting tonight, in fact, right here on this broadcast, I'm going to share this with you because I think it's these little tidbits of knowledge that will help you. So this one, behind the scenes, and I'm going to hashtag it, of course, so you can go back and see. So one of the things when you're building a Defender is the bulkhead. Also, in the States, we would call it a firewall. But this is a steel item with aluminum, and it can create a lot of galvanic corrosion. Here's the thing. This is a really good way to take a shortcut that you can just leave that bulkhead, grind out any rust, but this is an area prone to rust or galvanic corrosion, I should say. It's where it really happens, but it's really prone to that. And so it's easy to grind it out, put some body filler in there, call it done. But we replaced the bulkheads with a new bulkhead. A Helderburg gets a new bulkhead. And another thing is we only take the original vehicle, the donor vehicle, as a left-hand drive. A lot of other builders, what they'll do is they'll buy a right-hand drive and convert it to a left-hand drive. The reason you don't want to do that is because the original paperwork will show it's a right-hand drive. So your long-term collectible value is not there, because you can pick up a right-hand drive for $25,000, and left-hand drive, you're not going to pick one up. And I'm talking about one in bad shape. You're not going to pick one up at that. So we start with original left-hand drives. We do replace the bulkhead. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I did make this statement too. It's these details that make a Helderburg so collectible and coveted. And how I support that statement is try to find a used Helderburg on the secondary market. It's rare. It's a very rare occurrence to see a used Helderburg for sale in the secondary market. So there you go. All right. So if you have any questions, by all means, let me know. I hear Leo stirring in the background. It's just dinner time. Let me show you what's coming up. I think you'll find this interesting. So let's do our pre-reveal. We are getting, I'm moving along pretty good here. It's 7 o'clock, or 7:28. So anyway, started at 7. So what do you guys think about this? Reveal 1. And if you're on Instagram, you can't see this. So D130, this is under the shop light, so the color is not true. If you've seen Helios recently, this is basically the same color as Helios, but this is a 130. Helios was a 110 double cab. This one full kit, snorkel. It has the winch. This was an early shot. It looks a little different than this now, but this was an early shot. 35-inch tires, 12.5 inches wide, and ARB air lockers. I mean, it's got all kinds of kit in it. This one is going really down far into Texas to a gentleman that has Unimogs and has a Helderburg already. So this is going to be his second Helderburg. What, Leo? What? Okay, dinner time. Okay, so anyway, that one's coming. You'll see this really soon. This one, I'm giving you a glimpse, but I think you can tell it's a D110 double cab. Notice something a little different on this one, and the rear spare mount. We changed that up a little bit, and of course it has the rear light, the work light on the back. But the bed on a D110 double cab is only about 42 inches, so it made sense to really use that space. All right, here we go. You ready for the next reveal? This is all coming here in the short term, just so you know. I mean, this is like this month, and I'm not even showing all of them. Oh, look at this! Oh, look at that color! What do you guys think about this color? And again, it is under the shop lights. You're not seeing the true color. It's a mix. The shop lights. We've got the clear panels in the ceiling, so it's got sunlight coming in. We got the mercury vapor coming. It's not giving the real true color. You are going to see this beast, and hopefully you're going to see a lot of it. So with that said, mark your calendars. January 9th through the 12th, Will and I will have some Helderbergs on display in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, by all means, go to the website, find the appointment, book an appointment with us, and let's meet. But you can come see us and come see some Helderbergs on display. Again, Atlanta, Georgia, January 9th through the 12th. All right, next one. You ready for the next reveal? And I'm not showing them all to you. I'm just because of time. Boom. Guess what? It's like Bruno. So we built Bruno a couple years ago, and it's been so popular that I've had numerous clients now. In fact, 14 clients now. We have 14 clients that said, I want Bruno. I want it just like this. This is Hunter's vehicle, and again, Hunter's vehicle will, you'll see some of it too. You're going to see it. It will be here on Thursday. So Thursday will be this, oh, no, this one Thursday, and this one, oh, not that one. This one Thursday. So there you go. All right, so some questions about the Mark 3.5. I've had numerous clients contact me now and say, I need it, I want it, I need it, I want it. How do we get it done? How do we do the engine swap? Well, presents some problems, unfortunately. Things that we did to be able to make the engine, it has different gearing in the front and rear differentials, it has different gearing in the transmission, it has different gearing in the transfer case. Engine is completely rebuilt, completely different engine, different intercooler, different turbo, everything is different. So for clients that have been asking the question, what I've been telling them is, I don't know if you really want to spend the money of what it's going to cost to do all that, because it's an entire drivetrain change. We even got to take the body off because we need to reinforce the frame. You've seen how Vincent Red was rolling down the road. Yeah, so that's what happens there. So it's a lot of work, and to be able to do it. I mean, granted, we could just throw a new engine in and all the components with it and hope for the best. But anyway, so yes. Still, question I have, do I have any D130 3 doors in production? And the answer is yes, I do. I have 5 of them in production right now, so yes. A lot of 130s, which is interesting. We weren't really doing a lot of 130s. We would do one here and one there, and then it was just recently just like boom, 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 boom. The orders have been rolling in. So I have 5 in production, and we just bought 3 more donor vehicles too. So that's what's going on there with the 130s. All right, any other questions? If not, I want to show you Bleckmann. So here's Bleckmann. This has been on the website for a while. Yes, Lucy, girl. Been on the website as a Photoshop illustration saying it's coming, and it is done. So I would encourage you to go to Helderburg and check out the interior on this one. It's beautiful. It's stunning. It's perforated. It's got piping. It's the same color as the top. It's an almond color. Has a high fidelity sound system. So go check it out. It is available now. You can have this in your driveway this weekend. And then, of course, Bleckmann is... it's beautiful. It's like a slate gray is the exterior, but it does have about 2 3/4 inch lift on it, so it is available. Vincent Red, I am done testing it. It's all good. I get it. Okay, I get it. Okay, I'm coming. All right, so Vincent Red is available. If you want to have that in your driveway, you can have it in your driveway. Give me a call. We will talk about it, because I want to talk to you personally about Vincent Red, because it's fast. It's really, really fast. So we need to talk about that. My number, if you want to get a pen, I'm going to give you my number. You call me on my mobile, text me, but my number is 518-788, thank you, 4724. Again, 518-788-4724. And I will be sharing more behind the scenes with you guys, because I think it is important to share that type of information with you. And I think that's kind of it. I've shared the book. Lucy's saying she's got to eat dinner now too. So with that, I'm going to leave this video with you. And if you've got any questions, just give me a call, send me a text, and we will talk soon. Lucy is a star, there's no doubt. So thank you for joining me. It's 7:36. I'm going to sign off with this video. Thank you.
So when I started Helderburg, my entire goal was to fix all of the known issues when it came to a classic Land Rover Defender. One of those issues was they were painfully slow. I couldn't pass, I had to go in the right lane, and people would pass me. I still enjoyed it, but that was an issue I wanted to fix, and we did. Clients will tell you that the Helderburg has ample power and also sounds beautiful. But I felt like that just wasn't enough. Let's set the bar even higher. and that's what we've done. This is the Helderburg Mark 3.5 turbo diesel. This is an exclusive engine design that we've spent over 3 years developing, and now, wow, it's fast, it's powerful. You can pull out into traffic quickly, you can pass people, you can do donuts, you can even smoke the tires if you choose to, but you can also drive it very refined. It's the perfect daily driver, and best of all, the exhaust sounds are magical. So we've done everything. We've kept the classic iconic design. We've kept a drivetrain that's engineered to be part of the vehicle, so it's not a Frankenstein, and it sounds great, it's fast, and maintenance is pretty much nothing. Change the oil and change the fuel filter, and that means you'll spend more time on the road enjoying this turbo diesel. So let's go for a ride and you can hear the magic.